Did you know there is a real village where every house was abandoned overnight and no one knows why? Tucked away in the rugged landscape of northern Spain, in the province of Burgos, lies the hauntingly beautiful and utterly mysterious village of Oche. For centuries, this village was a quiet, unassuming place, but sometime in the early 20th century, its residents vanished, seemingly into thin air, leaving behind a ghost town shrouded in legend and speculation. Today we're diving deep into the chilling story of Oche, the village of silence, to uncover the theories behind its sudden abandonment. The story of Oche is like something straight out of a horror movie. Imagine a small, remote village, nestled in the mountains. Life goes on as it always has. Then one day, silence, the streets are empty, the houses are deserted, personal belongings are left behind, as if the villagers expected to return at any moment. But they never did. So, what happened? The official records are strangely sparse, which only adds to the mystery. This lack of concrete information has turned Oche into a breeding ground for myths, legends, and paranormal tales. Let's start with the most popular and chilling explanation: the three deadly epidemics. According to local legend, Oche was cursed. The story goes that in the 19th century, the village was struck by three separate, devastating epidemics. The first was typhus in 1860, followed by smallpox in 1864, and finally cholera in 1870. Each outbreak supposedly wiped out a significant portion of the population. The legend claims that these epidemics were so specific and so brutal that they only affected Oche, while neighboring villages remained completely untouched. It was as if a dark force had targeted this one specific place. The tale suggests that the few remaining survivors, terrified of the curse, fled in the middle of the night to save themselves, leaving everything behind. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? A plague that selectively targets a single village. But is there any truth to it? Historians and researchers have scoured the archives, looking for evidence of these epidemics. And this is where the story gets even stranger. They found no official records of any such outbreaks in Oche during those years. While these diseases were certainly present in Spain at the time, there's no documentation to suggest they hit Oche with such surgical, supernatural precision. The neighboring villages, which were much larger and better documented, have no records of quarantining Oche or of any unusual deaths. This lack of evidence leads many to believe that the epidemic story is just that, a story, a folktale created later to explain the unexplainable. So if it wasn't a series of supernatural plagues, what else could it be? This brings us to the world of UFOs and paranormal activity. In the 1980s, Oche burst into the public consciousness thanks to an article in a popular paranormal magazine called Mundo Desconocido, which means unknown world. The article, titled Lights in the Forbidden Door, was written by a man named Prudencio Muguruza. He claimed to have photographed a UFO hovering over the village's crumbling tower. The photo, though blurry and controversial, became an overnight sensation. Suddenly, Oche wasn't just an abandoned village. It was a UFO hotspot, a portal to another dimension. Muguruza's story opened the floodgates. Paranormal investigators, psychics, and curious thrill-seekers flocked to Oche. They reported all sorts of strange phenomena: mysterious lights in the sky, disembodied voices echoing through the ruins, electronic devices malfunctioning, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. One of the most famous legends is that of a local shepherd who supposedly saw a strange, glowing figure near the village entrance, a figure he called the Gentle, a giant from Basque mythology. Another tale speaks of the mysterious disappearance of a local investigator who was exploring a sealed underground passage in Oche and was never seen again. These stories painted Oche as a place of high strangeness, a place where the veil between our world and another is thin. The UFO and paranormal theories are certainly exciting, but they're also heavily criticized. Skeptics point out that the famous UFO photograph is likely a hoax or a simple misidentification. Many of the paranormal claims are anecdotal with no concrete proof. It's easy for an eerie, isolated place like Oche to play tricks on the mind. The wind whistling through the ruins can sound like voices. The play of moonlight on crumbling stone can look like a ghostly figure. The power of suggestion is strong, and once a place gets a reputation for being haunted, people are more likely to interpret any unusual event as something supernatural. So, let's set aside the curses and the aliens for a moment and look at a more mundane, but perhaps more likely, explanation. Historians who have studied the region offer a much simpler theory: economic decline and migration. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Spain, like much of Europe, was undergoing massive social and economic changes. Industrialization was drawing people away from rural, agricultural life and into the cities, where there were jobs and opportunities. Small, isolated villages like Oche, which relied on subsistence farming, were hit the hardest. Think about it. Life in a remote mountain village would have been incredibly tough. The land was difficult to farm, the winters were harsh, and access to basic services like schools and doctors was limited. As the population of nearby, larger towns grew, Oche dwindled. It wasn't a sudden, overnight disappearance. It was a slow, gradual decline. Families would have left one by one, seeking a better life for their children. The son of the last family to leave Oche has actually spoken about it, confirming that his family moved to a nearby town in the 1930s simply because they were the last ones left. The village didn't vanish in a night of terror. It simply faded away over several decades. This explanation might not be as dramatic as a plague or an alien abduction, but it makes a lot of sense. The story of Oche is likely the story of countless other small villages across the world that were left behind by progress. So why the spooky legends? Well, the human brain loves a good story. The overnight abandonment narrative is far more compelling than a slow economic decline. The ruins themselves, especially the lone, standing tower of the old church of San Miguel, create a powerful and mysterious image. It's the perfect canvas on which to paint tales of curses and strange lights. The legends likely arose years after the village was empty, as people looked at the silent ruins and wondered what could have happened here. Today, Oche remains a destination for the curious. The village is now in ruins, accessible only by a dirt track. The silence is profound, broken only by the wind and the call of birds. The stone walls of the houses are crumbling, and nature is slowly reclaiming the land. But the mystique endures. Whether you believe in the legends of curses and UFOs, or you subscribe to the more practical theory of economic migration, there's no denying the powerful, haunting atmosphere of Oche. It stands as a silent monument to a lost way of life and a testament to our enduring fascination with the unknown. It reminds us that sometimes the most compelling mysteries are the ones that have a perfectly simple, yet poignant, explanation. The real ghost of Oche might not be a paranormal entity, but the memory of a community that simply faded into history. What do you think happened to the people of Oche? Was it a supernatural event, or the slow march of time? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this journey into one of Spain's greatest mysteries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the unknown. See you next time.